took place today in the East Side Masjid and all the way to the cemetery. There's so many lessons that a person could learn of the incident that happened in our community. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, تبارك الذي بيده الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير الذي خلق الموت والحياة ليبلوكم أيكم أحسن عملا الذي خلق الموت والحياة. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said He is the one who created al-maut, death, wal-hayat. He mentioned death before life. For what? لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. So He can try you, He can give you the opportunity for you to see, for you to see who is going to do good or more good, or who's going to have more beautiful deeds. أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. And that amal only happens in this life. And the dunya seems very long. But measure the dunya with only your life. What happened before is a story that people will tell you, but you are not there. The time that you have, that's your life, that's your world. And what will happen after you, you have no idea. So the time that you have, this is where you work for the akhirah. This is where you work for the akhirah. This young boy, Abu Bakr, who was killed, there's so many good testimonies about him, and I myself also witness good things. Subhanallah. He was a young boy who spent most of his life in medicine, came to this country very young, but he tried, even though sometimes the surrounding can be very difficult. But he made good choices. He made very good choices. And one of those choices is he maintained his religion. He maintained his deen. And I remember teaching him the Quran. I taught him the Quran. I remember him coming with his mother to my house. I remember him calling me uncle. I did his ghusl with the brothers yesterday. All those memories came to my mind. I'm older than him, way older than him. I can be his father at some point. But subhanallah, he left me here. What left me here? I don't know. What took him? I don't know. But I know one thing. When the time comes, you will go. And one of the things that I was told today in the cemetery is he is studying in Tennessee in a scholarship, and people will know that he is in town because he will go to the masjid. Because he will go to the masjid, you come in town, people will know that you go to the masjid, in that age that you have so many places to go. But go anywhere else, but you make yourself available to go to the masjid. That means a lot. That means a lot. He will be also maintaining his prayers. Whenever the salah comes, he prays. And he continues his life. And he made it all the way from high school, and I was told by one of his teacher's husband, I was told that she sent a message to me saying that he was leading the salah also in the East High School. So all these good memories, we cannot fabricate these good memories. But the Prophet ﷺ, he said, اذكروا محاسن موتاكم. Mention the good things that you know about your deceased. And these are the good things that we know about him. But the lesson that we learn from it, especially the young people, because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, اغتنم خمسا قبل خمس. Take advantage of 5 things before the opposite 5 comes. And one of them is your youth. Your youth before you become an adult. Akhi, youth is a very important time for a young person if they know before they pass it. For that reason, the youth who strive and remain upon the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for their whole entire youth, they qualify to be among the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant shed on the day of judgment, that no one will have. It's only one shed is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant specific people to be under that shade, to enjoy the coolness of that shade. And no one else will qualify except these people. And one of them is a youth who spend their time into what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have many youth. We have many youth in our community. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the key to pass your youth with the beautiful things. The key is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to be a Muslim. You cannot be ungrateful. There are so many youth around you who are not Muslims. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has He placed the keys to success in your hand by choosing you and making you Muslim. But sometimes it becomes to a point where our youth, they don't even want to be identified as Muslims. They want to be identified as something else but not Muslims. Their appearance sometimes, where they go sometimes, what they do sometimes, to a point they feel embarrassed to come to the masjid or to come to Islamic gatherings. Why? It's because of they took the wrong path. But it's never too late as long as you're youth. As long as you're youth, it's not too late. So the Sahaba, they were not perfect in the beginning. Some of them accepted Islam in a youth and they changed their lives. So Islam, if you have the key to success, you work to succeed. You work to succeed. And Islam comes to change your life. Islam comes to us to change our life to better. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when He sent the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, what He told him, لِتُخْرِجَ النَّاسَ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ, to take them away from darkness to light. What is the darkness? It's disobedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In what we say and what we do, that is darkness. And if you see yourself in that darkness as a youth, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is a gift for you. So you can follow him, you can obey him. So he can lead you and take you away from the darkness to the light. What is the light? The light, you already have the keys. The light is Islam. The light is to implement Islam. The light is to pray. The light is to be kind to your parents. The light is to do what pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the light. The Prophet ﷺ, this is his message for us, but specifically the youth. The Prophet ﷺ, he gave so much attention to the youth when he came to Medina ﷺ. He included them. He gave them missions. Zayd ibn Thabit, he gives Zayd to lead the committee that records the Quran. He gave Usama ibn Zayd radiallahu anhu to be the leader of the army. And that army, Umar was there, Abu Bakr was there. All this for the youth to understand that the future of this religion is in your hands. But if you drop it, it becomes more difficult. If we fail, you fail, then you're setting up the coming generation to fail. So if you're a youth, this incident that happened, I think should teach you a lesson. Not just to make yourself better, but also to take the responsibility to participate in improving this religion in this city. Because what we're seeing in our youth sometimes is not pleasing. It's not pleasing. But sometimes also it's a result of what the parents, it's a result of the condition of the parents also sometimes. So we as parents, we really should start implementing our religion, being connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, making dua for our youth, for our young people, showing them the good things. If we do, inshallah ta'ala, Allah asallahu an yahdiyahum wa yanfa'a bihim al-Islam al-Muslimin. Allah might guide them. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala might use them to benefit the Muslims left and right, but specifically in our community. It's very sad when you hear this incident happen and it fall upon the Muslims. It's very difficult. A Muslim is somebody that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to be on good things all the time. All the time. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have mercy upon him. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to prevent this to happen again in our community. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect our youth, boys and girls. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bring them to their deen. And we ask Allah to make their deen to be a protection for them. Allahumma rudda shababana ila dinika maraddan jamila. Allahumma ruddahum ila dinika maraddan jamila. Allahumma ruddahum ila dinika maraddan jamila. وما ذلك على الله بعزيز وجل وعلا بالإجابة لجدير وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.